What's up, y'all? Today in this video I'll be doing a blunt cut bob sewing. So first things first, as you know, I always gotta blow dry their hair. It just makes it lay flat, makes the process easier, and all that good stuff. So I always take my heat protectant. I always protect my natural hair clients no matter what. And then I just go throughout with my denim brush. Well, not my denim brush, but my paddle brush, and make sure I blow dry their hair straight. This makes the braid down easier. It looks flatter, and it's just better when it comes to doing a sewing as far as longevity and all that good stuff. So if you see a little baby running in the background, that's my niece. She's so cute, I know. But anyways, yeah. So once I finish blow drying her hair, I'm gonna braid it down, and I'll be showing you guys my braiding pattern. Okay, so you want to take the 12-inch bundle, and that's the one you're going to be starting off with first. First thing you do is put the needle through the weft and secure the bundle in place, and every stitch after that you're going to place it underneath the weft because you no longer have to go through. But what you can do is create knots after each stitch that you do under the weft. I start off with the 12-inch bundle first because it makes it easier to cut the hair, because it's already short and it's wasting less hair. And I put the 14-inch on top because it allows the hair to look fuller and to lay better and less flyaways once you start to style the style at the end. What you want to do is go left to right, just making sure that each bundle is secured. So in this one we're only using 2 bundles, so I just make sure that both bundles are secured. So this is a 12-inch bundle, like I said previously, and I'm just making sure that I sew it in. And once I reach to the other side, I'm going to do the flip over method and bring the track back. And I'm going to continue that process until I have both the 12 and the 14-inch bundle sewed into her hair. Alright, y'all, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish sewing in this bundle, and then my 14-inch bundle, and right before I'm finished I'll be back to show you guys how I close off my sewings. Okay, y'all, so I'm back. I wish sewing in real life was this fast, but anyways, so I have the last 2 tracks to sew. This one, it's not really that important, but the last one is the one that's super important. I mean, all the tracks are important, but this one ain't as important as your finishing track. So with this one, I'm just gonna sew it until I reach the end, and then once I reach the end, then once I do my closing track, I make sure that that stitching is super close and super neat, so that track lays super flat and real close to the leave out, because when you go to blend in, that's gonna make a difference with the client's hair and the weave, like that transition right there. If you have too much of a gap between your tracks and where their real hair is, then it's not gonna lay properly. But if you get that last track, which I'm about to do right now, what I do is I don't sew it on the braid, I just sew it where the hair is. So I make sure I go under, pull the hair through the hair, and then pull the track up, so that way it gets super close. So with one braid, I do 3 stitches on that one braid, and then each braid gets 3 stitches before I move on to the next one, because that's going to lay that track extremely close. And that's what you're going for, like that extremely close track, to make sure that even when the hair grows out, it won't look as bad because your track is so close. And it's just gonna have a neater appearance once it gets old. The older the style gets, the better it looks to me. Like when you start off, yeah, it looks good, but once your style gets old and they can still wear it and they don't have no problem with blending they leave out because they track ain't bulky and it done slipped so much because of all that new growth that you see it, like, that's good. That means you accomplished something. That's how I feel. Okay, so as you can see, that side is like super close together. It's extremely close. Now this is everything. Once I have everything sewed, every section is real close together. And then once I do that, I'm just going to straighten out the hair. Now you always want to make sure that you straighten out the weave before you start any type of cutting, because you want to make sure that everything is laid flat. So when you do start cutting, you don't have to do extra work because it's not cut evenly, because the hair wasn't flat or all even to begin with. So once I'm finished flat ironing the hair, I just make sure that every piece lays flat. You don't have to worry about the flyaways right now, because once you start blending in the hair and doing all that good stuff, then everything will go away. So what I used to cut, I like to start off with clippers. I'm using these Wahl clippers that I had got from school when I was in school. So yeah, I just use that, and I start with the middle by the nape area, but in the middle, and make one straight cut going straight forward, and then I just work my way around with each section just to make sure that everything is cut evenly. And then once I get the cut like how I want it to be, I go ahead and work on the next side. And I don't know, for some reason cutting the opposite direction, because I gotta hold the clipper like a certain type of way, I don't know, it feels funny. But I mean, I get the same cut, but it just feels weird. Like I'm not used to cutting that way. Like normally when I cut with a razor comb. So it's like a different feeling cutting with clippers and having to hold it backwards. Now you just want to look and examine your cut to make sure that both sides are even and that you have the same cut on both sides. You want to comb through to make sure that none of the hair like rose up or whatever. Tilt their head down if you have to, just to make sure that you have that perfect cut. And whatever is out of place, you just want to make sure you go ahead and cut that. And if you need to use your tail comb or a cutting comb, you can go ahead and use that to make sure that the under hairs that are underneath are cut evenly as well. Because once you start flat ironing, you could always go back to recut or redo any mistakes that you may have. So right now I'm like super focused on this cut, like, because I like cutting. I don't know, cutting to me is fun, so I just make sure everything is precise when I do cuts. Okay, so now I'm flat ironing her hair just to make sure that that cut is perfect. So you want to take out little sections at a time and make sure that you get every piece as flat as possible. I always chase my flat irons. First I flat iron it without the comb, and then I chase it with the comb just to get a more finer finish, to make sure every piece of hair gets straightened. So I'm going to continue to take out little pieces at a time until her whole hair is straightened. And once that's done, I put a neck strip around her neck just to make sure that when I go in to cut again, like she doesn't get any cuts or anything on her neck or anything like that. So I'm just finishing up here, just making sure that everything is straight. And I really like this flat iron. Like, I got it from school and I've been using it ever since then. So yeah, like for me, it gets the hair like super straight with no problem. Natural hair, relaxed hair, or even weave. So I really like this flat iron. So this is the last piece. I'm gonna go ahead and straighten it out. And I'll just make sure that it's bone straight. I use the chaser method with the comb because it gets the hair bone straight. And once that's done, I just run the comb through to make sure like any bumps or stuff like you may see. And then I go ahead and I start cutting just to make sure that the cut is perfect and just straight and precise. For me, I like precision cuts. I like my cuts to be on point, precise, neat, all hairs to fall in place. So if you see me cutting something like a million times, it's just because I'm trying to get like that line to be perfect. And once I have the line perfect, I no longer cut anymore. So as you can see, that bob has a lot of movement. Right now I'm going in because I feel like it's a bulky spot that didn't get straightened properly. So I'm just smoothing that out. And I may trace over it a couple of times. I don't know. It's just the OCD in me. Like everything just has to look aligned and the same. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And now it's perfect. And now I could go ahead and fix that cut. And you see that little piece right there. So I just make sure I cut that off. And I'm running my comb back through to make sure I got that whole piece cut off. And yeah, sometimes I tell my clients like to lift their neck and drop their shoulders. That helps you to see the cut and to see underneath like what you've been missing. Because if they have their shoulders tensed up, then you won't be able to see the cut properly. But once they drop their shoulders, it relaxes everything and they're able to lift their neck up more, and that allows you to see the cut better. So I'm just going up and shaping up the other side, and once I'm done shaping up the other side, then I will start blending out her hair. Okay, so I had previously blown out her hair with heat protectant when I first started. So right now I'm just going in with my flat iron to straighten out her leave out to make sure that it's super straight to match her weave. So once I have everything straightened out, I'll be back to show you guys how I blend her leave out and her weave. Okay, so I got this little piece left to flat iron, and once this piece is left and I flat ironed it and it's all done, I just go ahead and turn my client facing me, and just to make sure that part is super centered before I start to blend in her leave out with the weave. So I just go ahead and make sure the part is centered. Now that I have it centered, I take my Kera wax stick and apply it all over her leave out just to make sure that everything is laying out flat. And because she has split ends, I had to go all the way down to the ends to make sure that it would blend. Then I take my Sebastian holding spray and spray it all over her hair just to make sure that it blends good with her leave out. Now what I do is take a piece of the weave along with her leave out, and I'm just going to run my flat iron over that to make sure that it blends in evenly. And then I comb it out just to see how it looks and just to make sure that it's blended properly. And I just go around her whole entire head until I have every piece of hair blended in with the weave. Okay, so once I finish with everything, this is the finished product with the cut, the blending. I done put her edges smoothly. And as you can see, that shine that it has. Right now it's weighed down because of the Kera wax stick, but once that melts and blends in with her hair, everything's gonna be smooth. So thank you guys for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Smash that like button. Comment down below for what type of videos you guys want to see in the future. And please subscribe.